Good day to you, sir, and good day to everybody who's watching our video. We are Group 8 Uranium of STEM 11B, presenting to you our research entitled The Investigation of the Psychological Factors Behind Pornography Addiction Among Teenagers. Hi, my name is Ralph Jason Domo, and I'll be presenting to you the background of our study. The background of our study: in our society right now, there exists a normative view of pornography. Now, modern day society isn't like society from 30 to 50 years ago, wherein pornography viewing was still considered to be a form of taboo. It isn't just like that right now. Our society widely accepts the viewing of pornography. And as a direct result of this, there is an exponential increase in the number of teenage pornography viewers. This increase, sir, is unprecedented. So you couple the idea that our society accepts it, and it does not even consider it as a form of problem, and that there's this exponential increase in the number of teenage pornography viewers, we can then infer that our society is heading towards a dangerous direction. Our goal for study is to gain a comprehensive knowledge of the psychological factors behind pornography addiction so as to deconstruct this once and for all. Thank you very much. Statement of the problem. The study aims to investigate the psychological factors behind pornography addiction among teenagers. Specifically, it seeks answers to the following questions. First, what are the reasons why teenagers are addicted to pornography? Second, what is the experience of watching pornography like for teenagers? And lastly, can watching porn be an outlet of sexual desires that are not permitted to real-life situations?
The theoretical framework. Our theoretical framework was given to us by Lusmore and Horvath. This part right here is given to us by Lusmore, which is contained with compulsive viewing of pornography that gives a valid scientific evidence suggesting that it causes the overproduction of pleasure neurochemicals. Therefore, it is a form of addiction. This part right here is given to us by Horvath. It contains psychological factors, which is contained with relief of boredom, peer influence, sexual pleasure, and curiosity.
The scope of this study. So the scope of this study is limited within the campus grounds of the University of St. Lasal. That is because our respondents will be the senior high school students of the university, specifically 10 respondents from the population. Next. Its limitations. So first limitation would be finding respondents. So given that our topic is too sensitive, finding respondents would be a difficult task for us. Next, the reliability of the respondents' answers. So once again, given that the topic is too sensitive, the answers of our respondents would be an issue because their honesty from their answers would be one of our would affect the results of our study.
The research design. Our research design is called the descriptive qualitative research. According to Lambert, descriptive qualitative research is a comprehensive summarization of specific events experienced by individuals or group individuals. Next is the interview method. The interview method is called the in-depth interview. It involves the semi-structured focused interview. Next, our analysis is called the thematical analysis.
Respondents of the study. We will choose 10 senior high school students who had past experience about porn or porn addicts. We will use the quota sampling as a sampling technique in order to choose the respondents. There must be a porn addict or students that had past experience. But before all, we must consider the availability of our participants in conducting our interview. Instruments. We will be doing an in-depth interview. We will provide also an interview guide questions to answer the specific questions that is validated by the research advisor. The data gathering procedure. We will use the quota sampling technique as I said, and we will also use some recording devices to record, and we will also transcribe their answers in order to gather our data.
The table 1 shows the data gathered for the reasons why teenagers are addicted to pornography. Now, 2 of our respondents have said the strike of curiosity as a reason why they're addicted. 2 of them held peer influence as responsible for it, and about 6 of them held sexual pleasure, both sexual pleasure and the relief of boredom, as the reason as to why they are addicted to pornography. Now, table 2, the experience of watching pornography. One of them described the experience to be that of ecstatic. About 7 of them said that the experience of watching pornography provides them a relief of stress and as a distraction for them. But one of them has described it to be a waste of time, which is rather interesting. And another one has had mixed emotions about the experience of watching porn. But if you look at the significant answers on the right side, while one of them has said that it's a waste of time, they still have said that it fulfills their fantasies. And one of them has had mixed emotions about it, felt gross, felt funny, but at the same time, it satisfied his sexual desire. Therefore, the experience of watching pornography is still a good experience for our respondents. Now, table 3 shows the results of the specific question number 3, watching pornography as an outlet of sexual desires that are not permitted in real-life situations. Now, 9 of our respondents said that yes, it can be an outlet for sexual desires, and about 1 of them has said that not only is it an outlet for their sexual desires, but it's also a way by which he can express himself better through sexual acts. Again, 9 of them saying that yes, pornography addiction is a mechanism by which they express their sexual desires. 9 versus 1. For the discussion on table 1. Now, the significant results presented in table 1 thus really confirm the researcher's bias in the various related studies. Now, first of all, with the idea of sexual pressure and the relief of boredom, it isn't much of a surprise. However, it adds much credibility to our study. 2 things that are very interesting, however, would be peer pressure and the setting in of curiosity. Now, let me first start with peer pressure. On the surface of it, peer pressure seems to be a social factor that serves as an antecedent to the first experience of watching porn. We never thought that it was actually a possible reason why they're addicted to pornography, despite one of our experts, Horvath, saying it. But one of our respondents said that it has become a psychological factor because his friends have continually told him to watch it because porn, according to his friends, is good. Therefore, peer pressure then, at this point, in this case, for this particular case, became a psychological factor. Number 2, the setting in of curiosity. Curiosity, once again, only seems like an antecedent to the first experience of watching porn. Now, but this time, our respondent has said that the more he watched pornography, the more he became curious about it. Increasing curiosity means increased addiction to watching porn. That is rather significant and very interesting. Now, for table 2, let me go back. For table 2, the experience of watching pornography. Now, our respondents, despite some of them saying that it's a waste of their time or had some mixed emotions about it, have still illustrated a good experience of watching porn. With another one of them even describing the experience to be like cloud nine or an ecstatic experience of some sort. Now, this ecstatic experience of watching porn can only be derivative from the sexual pleasure that pornography provides. Therefore, once again, a good experience, a good ecstatic experience of watching porn. Now, the results in table 2 builds itself on the premise of table 1. Now for table 3, the idea, the specific main idea that can be distilled from it is generally simple. Now for those people who are addicted to the idea of sex but can't have it in real life situations, for our respondents, they've said that pornography has become a mechanism by which they fulfill their sexual desires. It's as a resort for these people. And then for one of our respondents, which we rather found to be interesting, was the fact that he said, watching porn has allowed for him to better express himself through sexual acts. Therefore, we can then infer that not only is pornography addiction rooted to sexual addiction, pornography addiction itself can articulate the problem of sexual addiction. Thank you very much.
So for the conclusion, these are the reasons why teenagers become addicted to pornography: sexual pleasure, relief of boredom, peer pressure, and curiosity. And The feeling that they get or the experience they get when they are watching porn gives them a good experience, or some say that describes it as an ecstatic experience. Pornography as a resort for sex addicts can be an outlet for their sexual desires and their sexual acts. And for the implications, compulsive viewing of pornography is a form of addiction, which is a big problem to society that needs to be dealt with. Next, for our recommendations, we recommend to future researchers to expand the scope of their study and have a very casual type of conversation with the respondents, which will enable them to truthfully say and give reliable answers for their study.
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, we're Group 8 Uranium presenting to you our study about pornography addiction among teenagers. Thank you very much.